Welcome to Final Score. It's the day football fans have had circled on their calendars for months. The busiest day of the season, FA Cup third round time. We're getting towards the business end of the afternoon. Over the next 20 minutes, giant killings, late goals, upsets or just run-of-the-mill wins for the top sides will unfold. Quite simply, anything can happen, and it often does. We've got 21 reporters up and down the country to keep you firmly in the picture. And with me in the studio, three men who between them share huge FA Cup experience. They boast 7 finals appearances and 5 winners' medals amongst their footballing achievements. Gavin, Peacock, Gary, Pallister and Garth, Crooks. Now let's get straight to the action and head off to Ewood Park, where Blackburn, 28 league places above Coventry, are having a really torrid afternoon. Richard Askham is watching this one.
They are indeed, Jake. It's Blackburn 0, Coventry 2. Coventry 2 up, and their large travelling support is making all the noise. Misfoot in the first half, Ward from the spot in the second with the goals, and Coventry could have added to their lead. Adibola going close with a cross-come shot a moment ago. Saba has hit post and bar for Blackburn, but at the moment a shock is very much on the cards here at Ewood Park.
And there could also be a shock on the cards at the Reebok Stadium. Bolton playing Sheffield United. Let's hear from Harry Gratian.
I'll tell you something, Jake, this is a very poor Bolton display, reflected in the rows of empty seats as well. They've been lacklustre for the entire game so far, and David Carney's goal on 43 minutes has given Sheffield United the lead. They must feel that this game is theirs for the taking. United lead 1-0.
Peterborough may have spent big recently, but still, this is League Two up against the Championship. Peterborough United visiting Colchester at Layer Road. Watching the match is Vassos Alexander.
It has been all Peterborough. Colchester 1, Peterborough 3 now. Charlie Lee direct from a corner with a second Peterborough goal. George Boyd put them back in front early in the second half after Teddy Sheringham had equalised for the Championship side from the penalty spot shortly before half-time. Aaron McLean, his 20th of the season, put Peterborough 1 up early in the match, but it's Peterborough of League 2 3-1 up at Colchester.
It's the FA Cup. The shocks keep on coming. Brighton are playing Mansfield at the Withdean Stadium. Andy Barwell.
And it's 2-1-2 Mansfield. Their only other away win this season came in the FA Cup against Harrogate Railway, but it's Mansfield's turn to be giant killers today. 2-1 up then against the League One side. Mansfield ahead through Matthew Hamshaw. Brighton level Alex Ravel. Ian Holmes, though, a well-taken goal from him to restore the advantage. A big effort from the Mansfield fans. 369 of them here today. They're starting to bite their fingernails. Brighton 1, Mansfield 2.
The goals keep on coming. League Two Bury have put in a great performance so far this afternoon against Norwich City. There's been a goal at Carrow Road. Steve May.
And it's gone to Bury. It's Norwich City 0, Bury 1. There was a free kick on the left-hand side taken by Brian Barry Murphy. Found the far post, and Andy Bishop was there with a header into the far corner. His 11th of the season, and a real upset here because Bury are 48 places below Norwich in the league placings. It's Norwich 0, Bury 1.
Another shock on the cards there. There's also been a goal at Ashton Gate. Bristol City took the lead against Middlesbrough this afternoon. Who scored the third goal? Let's hear from Hamish Marshall.
Yeah, the Premier League side did it. Bristol City 1, Middlesbrough 2. And Middlesbrough have come, as you say, from a goal down. Stuart Downing in the first half. And then David Wheater a moment ago getting on the end of a good run by Lee Cattermole on the right-hand side. Middlesbrough 2-1 up. Bristol City had taken the lead through Liam Fontaine, but the chances of a shock are receding. 2-1 to the visitors.
As things stand, Havant and Waterlooville are the only non-league side left in the Cup. They're away at Swansea. At the Liberty Stadium is Gareth Williams.
Swansea City 1, Havant and Waterlooville 0, and it's taken Andy Robertson a 25-yard free kick into the top left-hand corner. Swansea 1, Havant and Waterlooville 0.
In 1990, Oldham knocked Everton out of the Cup. Could they be about to do it again? The second half's about to kick off. At Goodison Park is Mark Bishop.
Yes, welcome back, Jake. It is Everton 0, Oldham Athletic 1. What an incredible scoreline, because Oldham have scored just before the break. Gary McDonald with a terrific 20-yarder. Just to let you know, of course, we kicked off half an hour late because of a fire in a nearby fish and chip shop. Emergency services had to close off 3 roads because of billowing smoke. But it's Oldham who are on fire, and they lead 1-0.
League Two Hereford have travelled to League One Tranmere. There's been a goal at Prenton Park. Let's hear about it from Alan Biggs.
There have been 2 goals at Prenton Park. You join us as Hereford's lead is restored by none other than Trevor Benjamin, former Leicester City player, the only player of real renown in the Hereford side, has scored with a left foot angled shot just moments after Tranmere equalised through Steve Jennings, who shot hit the crossbar and came down just over the line from 12 yards. Jennings was on loan at Hereford last season, but now the lead that was provided by Ben Smith's 20-yard volley earlier in the second half has been restored by Trevor Benjamin. It's Tranmere 1, Hereford 2.
What a massive goal by Trevor Benjamin. Let's head to Portman Road now, where Ipswich, the winners of the FA Cup 30 years ago, are facing Portsmouth. Here's Andrew James.
It's Ipswich 0, Portsmouth 1. David Nugent, the Portsmouth substitute, with the goal early in the second half. Nugent on for Mendes, who was involved in the sending off of Liam Trotter of Ipswich in the first half. Ipswich 0, Portsmouth 1.
Tottenham faced Reading at the Lane just a few days ago, and there was 10 goals, and this is turning into a cracker as well. Tony Lockwood's watching.
And we have 13 minutes left, and Leroy Lita, playing up on his own, has just cracked in a left foot angled strike, kept out by Robinson. Stephen Hunt on hand to turn in the equaliser. Hunt it was who gave Reading the lead with a looping free kick, caught by Robinson, who stepped over his line. A cracker by Berbatov, a penalty by Berbatov. Hunt with the equaliser, 2-2.
News coming through of another goal, this time at Roots Hall, where Southend are facing Dagenham and Redbridge. The Daggers were looking to spring a surprise this afternoon. Is that still the case? Robin Bailey.
They were ahead, Jake, of course, 2-1, but a dagger to the heart of the Daggers, because Simon Francis has just put Southend 3-2 up. He shot through a crowded area, and Southend have been putting on pressure, but Dagenham and Redbridge don't look like a side who could go out of the Football League this season. They've been brilliant. It's been a great cup tie. It's 3-2, and it's not over yet with about 30 minutes left.
Huddersfield are relishing their big day at the Gal Farm against Premier League Birmingham. Let's get the latest from Mark Webber.
And so they should at the moment. It's still 1-1. The Terriers of Huddersfield have been nipping at Birmingham's ankles all day. Scored through an early Luke Beckett tack-in, but failed to shut the door when the O'Connor got in on the rebound. And then they have avoided the banana skin. The league's hierarchy being ripped to shreds here by a brave Huddersfield in a foul-ridden game where there's been more yellows handed out than party invites. 1-1.
It's those big spending millionaires of West London, QPR, away at Chelsea in the Cup today. Let's hear from Stan Walker, who's at Stamford Bridge.
Yes, and just to remind you of how rich QPR are, by the way, while Roman Abramovich was spending 30 million on Andrei Shevchenko, QPR's new shareholder Laxi Mittal was forking out the same amount on his daughter's wedding. It's the comparative paupers, though, who lead through a fortunate shot from Claudio Pizarro that hit the post before going in off goalkeeper Lee Camp. But QPR have switched things round in the second half. Martin Rowlands, the captain, and Patrick Aguimang have all come close, and a weakened Chelsea have been forced to bring on Drogba, Ballack and Cole. It's a slender lead for the holders.
You see, money can't buy you everything. 2 years ago, on their way to the final, West Ham beat Manchester City in the FA Cup. Is that going to be the case today? Roger Johnson's at Upton Park.
Who knows? It's West Ham 0, Manchester City 0. We need a goal to state the obvious. Both clubs have strong teams out. It's Sven-Göran Eriksson's first experience of the FA Cup. Martin Petrov has brought the biggest threat for his side, but both the keepers have made a couple of smart saves each. All the subs are on in the search for that vital breakthrough. It's 0-0.
We heard about Trevor Benjamin giving Hereford the lead just a few moments ago. Gareth Taylor has broken the Hereford Hearts, though he's equalised for Tranmere. It's Tranmere 2, Hereford 2. But let's quickly head to the Liberty Stadium. Swansea versus the only non-leaguers left in the competition, Havant and Waterlooville. Here's Gareth Williams.
Still Swansea 1, Havant and Waterlooville 0, but the visitors are now down to 10 men. Brett Porte saw a straight red for a terrible challenge. We're still waiting to see who the Swansea player is who's down, but the visitors are down to 10 men. It's 1-0 Swansea.
At the Stadium of Light, two managers with big FA Cup pedigrees going head-to-head. It's Sunderland against Wigan. There's been a goal. Steve Sutton.
Yes, it has. It's gone to Wigan. It's Sunderland 0, Wigan 3. A real tale of woe for Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Sharna got Wigan's first in the first half. Paul McShane with an own goal in the second. And then just a couple of minutes ago, David Cottrell with a brilliant solo effort, 20 yards out, lashed into the back of the net. It's Wigan, it looks, in the fourth round.
Let's hear now about Tranmere's equaliser against Hereford from Alan Biggs at Prenton Park.
Yeah, Tranmere 2, Hereford 2. It came from Gareth Taylor, recalled by Tranmere today with a close-range header to cap a spell of 3 goals within the space of 4 minutes. Indeed, all the goals have come in the second half. Smith and Benjamin for Hereford and Steve Jennings and Gareth Taylor for Tranmere. It's 2-2.
There's been a red card at the Liberty Stadium. Another one. That's 2 in 2 minutes. Swansea versus Havant and Waterlooville. Gareth Williams again.
Yes, as I said, the visitors are down to 10 men, and for a challenge on the substitute, it was Andre Orlando who just come on from Swansea, and it was Brett Port who was actually seen the red card. Swansea 1, Havant and Waterlooville down to 10 men, 0.
Swindon have made it through to the third round for the second year running. Let's hear from Steve Lee, who's watching Swindon against Barnet at the County Ground.
And it's Swindon 1, Barnet 0. Nothing too classic about this game. It's a scruffy goal that's settling it so far. Blair Sturrock with a scrambled effort. Barnet haven't really managed to get back into it. It's 1-0 Swindon.
After what's been a tough season, this is turning into quite an afternoon to Coventry. They're away at Blackburn. There's been another goal. Richard Ascombe's at Ewood Park.
It certainly is turning into some afternoon for Coventry City, Jake. It's Blackburn Rovers 0, Coventry City 3, and what a goal it was as well. Dele Adebola, all his own work, danced his way past a couple of challengers, powered his way into the box and shot unerringly left-footed into the bottom corner. It's Blackburn Rovers 0, Coventry City 3.
Well, this is FA Cup third round day, gentlemen, and red cards, goals here, there and everywhere. It's all happening.
Well, Huddlestone's gone. He sent Huddlestone off for Spurs. They're down to 10 men, 2-1 against 2-2 Reading. Reading are 2-2 in a competition they don't want to be in, facing the worst possible result because they're going to have a replay. It's quite extraordinary. And Huddlestone's gone. They could win this game, Reading, at the moment.
That's the FA Cup for you.
It is the FA Cup. It's
of all
so
of the
unpredictable.
upsets that we've been watching, Gary, I think we have to make mention of Coventry City. After what's been a tough season, what an amazing result for them against a Blackburn side who've had a good season so far.
I know it belies the form in the Championship because, you know, the mid-table sort of mediocrity. Coventry, they've got problems, financial problems. Ian Dowie's found it very hard to motivate the team there, I think. But they've gone to Blackburn, they've raised the game. This is what we keep saying about the FA Cup. They've got a chance in the limelight, in the spotlight to do well, and that's what they've done. They've taken the chances today and punished Blackburn.
Well, yeah, exactly, and they can do with the money as well, getting through to the next round.
OK, Gary Doherty, he's equalised for Norwich against Bury. And now we can hear from another goal at the Gal Farm Stadium. Huddersfield against Birmingham. Which way has it gone? Mark Webber.
Jake, David is alive and living in Huddersfield. The Goliaths are down. Chris Brandon has scored a goal. He popped up on the left-hand side, very typical to the first-half goal we saw from Huddersfield. Very sneaky, very sly, but it's got them a ticket, possibly, to the fourth round of the FA Cup. 2-1 to Huddersfield.
Another potential upset to add to the list. What an afternoon this is turning into. And another goal at Ewood Park. Surely Coventry haven't got a fourth. They're playing Blackburn. Here's Richard Ascombe.
You're right, Jake, they haven't. It's now Blackburn 1, Coventry City 3. Some hope for Blackburn Rovers. Time running out. David Bentley with a long-range effort from just outside the box, through a load of bodies and into the net. Blackburn now pressing. It's Blackburn 1, Coventry 3.
I mentioned moments ago that Norwich have equalised, breaking the hearts of the League Two fans of Bury. Let's hear about the goal now from Steve May, who's at Carrow Road.
Yes, Jake, it came 10 minutes from the end of this game. It's gone to Gary Doherty, who, along with Dion Dublin, the other central defender, had gone up in an attack. We saw Jamie Curitan fire on a shot that was brilliantly saved by Jim Provitt. Excellent save, but the ball came back to Doherty, and he scored from close range. So it's now Norwich 1, Bury 1. We've got 7 minutes left here.
We heard Garth's thoughts just a moment ago on the red card at White Hart Lane. Let's get the thoughts now of Tony Lockwood, who's at the match.
Yes, Tom Huddlestone off, Spurs down to 10 men, 2-2, a replay on the cards. It was an altercation with Bobby Convey. Convey given a yellow card. Huddlestone, the head seemed to go forward. Mark Clattenburg went to the linesman and brandished a red card. Spurs down to 10 men, 2-2.
Well, after all the goings-on, I'm sure you don't have any lingering doubts about the romance of the FA Cup. But if you do, how about this? Part-timers Chasetown, in the fourth tier of non-league football, have become the smallest side ever to make it as far as the third round. Their reward, a tie with the Cardiff side, 135 places above them. Could the Midlanders' fairy tale continue in the day's early kick-off? Let's get the full-time report from Steve Wilson.
Cardiff City are through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. 135 places separate them in football's pecking order from Chasetown, and yet for half an hour they were on the rack. Kevin McNaughton having scored an own goal to put Chasetown in front after 17 minutes, and it didn't flatter them either. But Peter Whittingham scored an equaliser for Cardiff in stoppage time at the end of the first half, and in the second half Chasetown ran out of legs, allowing debutant Alan Ramsey to put Cardiff 2-1 up on the hour, and Paul Parry made it 3 with just 17 minutes to go. Cardiff are through, but great honour to Chasetown, who've made history this season. Chasetown 1, Cardiff 3.
Charlie Blakemore and the Scholars can certainly hold their head up high. Now, in one of the day's other early kick-offs, Wolves took on non-league Cambridge United without a win in their last 7. Could the Championship side rediscover their form? They needed to. David Garrido was at Molineux.
You've got to feel for Cambridge, who fought superbly and went ahead when Neil Collins was penalised for handball and Scott Rendell blasted home the resulting spot kick to give the 4,000 travelling fans hope of a famous upset. Second half sub Michael Kitely, returning from an ankle injury, showed just how much Wolves had missed him with a clean right foot strike to bring the home side level, which left Collins' late close range header to break Cambridge hearts, and Wolves somehow have sneaked through to round 4.
Real heartbreak there. And just down the road from Wolverhampton, League One's in-form side Walsall took on Millwall, the 2004 finalists. This one was watched by John Roeder.
2 weeks ago, Walsall beat Millwall here 3-0 in a League One match. No repeat today, despite plenty of pressure from the Saddlers in the second half, after a first period in which both sides cancelled each other out. Nichols and Deeney had Walsall's best chances. Millwall by far the happier with the replay, which will be at the New Den on Tuesday week.
There's been a goal at the county ground where Swindon are taking on Barnet. Let's hear about it from Steve Lee.
It's now Swindon 1, Barnet 1, an absolutely superb equaliser by a man who's been threatening a goal since he's come on, Adam Birchall. He stepped inside his man and launched a shot which caught Peter Brezovan unawares. 1-1 it is now at county ground.
It's been a corking match at Roots Hall. There was an upset on the cards, then there wasn't. There's been goals and there's now been a sending off. Southend against Dagenham and Redbridge. Robin Bailey.
Well, it looks like Southend are safe now because they're playing against 10 men, Dagenham and Redbridge. Tony Roberts, the goalkeeper for them, sent off, not in his own area, but in the opposing area. He squared up to Peter Clark. He got the red card from the referee and, well, he wasn't happy about it. He disputed it, but he's had to go. They've had to reshuffle, and Dagenham chasing the game with only 10 men, 3-2 down.
There's been a goal at the Liberty Stadium and it could be a big one. It's Swansea against the only non-league side left in the tournament, Havant and Waterlooville. Who scored it? Gareth Williams.
Swansea City 1, Havant and Waterlooville 1, and it's Rocky Baptiste who's got the equaliser. Swansea in disarray in the back. Upstep Baptiste to slot the ball past the Friesen goal. It's all square. Swansea 1, Havant and Waterlooville 1.
What a game, 10v10 and 1-1, only in the FA Cup third round. And let's bring you bang up to date with all the rest of the games so that you know exactly what's happening around the country. It's Barnsley 2, Blackpool 1. Just one league place separates Barnsley from Blackpool in the Championship. It's been close on the pitch as well this afternoon. David Fox put Blackpool ahead, but 2 goals in 3 minutes from Stephen Foster and Michael Coulson have put the Tykes ahead. It's Charlton 1, West Brom 1. Chinese international Zheng Ji fired Charlton ahead in just the second minute against the Championship leaders West Bromwich Albion. And Ishmael Miller, he can't stop scoring, can he? He responded for the Baggies. That's currently 1-1. It's currently another great game at Plymouth Argyle. Plymouth 3, Hull City 2. Goals galore at home park. Najim Abdu, Peter Halmosian, Sylvan Ebanks, Blake with the goals for Argyle. 38-year-old Dean Windass with both goals for Hull, his 9th and 10th of the season. It's Preston North End 1, Scunthorpe 0, Southampton 2, Leicester City 0, and it's Watford 2, Crystal Palace 0. Now we're edging towards our live FA Cup game here on BBC One. Aston Villa against Manchester United, 6th versus 2nd in the Premier League. 2 teams on cracking form. And here's the latest team news from John Motson, who'll be commentating at Villa Park.
Well, 2 pieces of unexpected team news here, Jake. As far as Aston Villa are concerned, John Carew will start the game. Many people thought he would be out with that injury, but Martin O'Neill has pressed him into service. He replaces Luke Moore up front. He'll be partnered up there by Agbon Lahore in front of the New England manager Fabio Capello. So Villa will play a 4-4-2, and that's their only change. As for Manchester United, Wayne Rooney is only on the bench following the virus that's been keeping him out. There's no Tevez, of course, so Sahar will play up front, and I'm expecting Ryan Giggs to push up alongside him because Ji-Sung Park has been named in the starting lineup and he'll almost certainly be on the left of midfield. That's the setup, and Capello in the stand here tonight, I've spoken to him before the game, is looking forward to seeing 5 potential England internationals in the Aston Villa team.
Stick with us here on BBC One to see that game live. Now, there are, as we speak, 6 potential upsets around the country in the FA Cup, including 4 Premier League sides potentially on the wrong end of an upset. Let's head to Blackburn and hear about their upset. They're playing Coventry at Ewood Park. Here's Richard Askham.
Yes, it's Blackburn 1, Coventry City 3, Jake. Blackburn piling on the pressure now after that David Bentley goal, but Coventry are attacking and they've just scored a 4th goal. I think it's Michael Misfoot again. I'm just trying to confirm that. I can confirm that they've scored. The Coventry City supporters, a large number of them behind that goal, are going absolutely wild. I'm pretty sure it is Michael Misford with his second goal. He's made it Blackburn Rovers 1, Coventry City 4.
What a result that could turn out to be. Bolton struggling to keep hold of their place in the Premier League. Just how importantly do they consider the FA Cup this season? It's Bolton against Sheffield United. Let's hear from Harry Gratian at the Reebok Stadium.
They don't, Jake, because many of the seats here were cut price, but on this display, Bolton's fans deserve their money back. Carney's well-taken goal after Quinn's great pass has given Sheffield United that deserved lead. Indeed, Jonathan Stead nearly made it 2-0 on 76 minutes, and this may just be the kind of spur needed for the Blaze to sharpen up their championship campaign. 20 seconds left, 1-0 to Sheffield United.
Another Premier League side, another potential upset. Huddersfield versus Birmingham at the Garth Stadium. Let's hear the latest from Mark Webber.
Wax your ears, Jake. Huddersfield Town 2, Birmingham City 1. Alex McLeish doesn't like the FA Cup. Half of Huddersfield do. They're still pushing forward, Huddersfield. If I was them, I'd put 11 men and half of West Yorkshire behind the goal. But they're not doing it. 3 minutes added on time. 2-1 to Huddersfield.
Another upset on the cards, Everton versus Oldham. This game was delayed by half an hour after a fire in a nearby chip shop. Let's find out how long is left and what's happening. Here's Mark Bishop at Goodison Park.
Still 1-0 to Oldham, Jake. Everton staring down the barrel of a big cup upset here at Goodison Park. 5 years after crashing out to Shrewsbury in the same round. Scottish midfielder Gary McDonald with a real beauty just before the break outside the penalty area. Everton without 6 first-team players. They've really struggled in this match. Johnson was threatened, McFadden's been bright, but Oldham are bossing it and they lead 1-0.
Roots Hall is the place to be for goals this afternoon, and there's just been another one. Southend at home to Dagenham and Redbridge. Let's hear from Robin Bailey.
Yeah, the game is killed off as far as Dagenham are concerned. Southend 4, Dagenham and Redbridge 2. A wonderful shot by Dean Morgan, brilliantly saved by the substitute goalkeeper Ed Thompson in his first game of the season. Remember, Tony Roberts sent off earlier, and there was Nicky Bailey to follow up. 4-2 Southend, and is it 5? Yes, it is. A 5th goal there going in, and it's Dean Morgan with his 2nd goal of the match. That's it. Dagenham and Redbridge are out.
Well, there could still be an upset in Essex, and in fact I'm just hearing that there is an upset in Essex. The full-time whistle has blown at Layer Road, and what a performance by League 2 Peterborough United against Championship Colchester. Here's Vassos Alexander.
Yeah, really good performance. Colchester 1, Peterborough 3, a thoroughly deserved win for Darren Ferguson's League 2 side, ahead early thanks to Aaron McLean's 20th of the season. They were unlucky when Teddy Sheringham equalised from the spot late in the first half, but seconds into the second, George Boyd put Peterborough back ahead. Charlie Lee sealed it. Colchester have entered the FA Cup at this stage twice now, and for the 2nd straight year they've lost to a League 2 team. Well played Peterborough though. Colchester 1, Peterborough 3.
It's also full-time at Ewood Park, and what a performance by the 1987 winners Coventry. They've beaten Blackburn. Here's Richard Askham.
It certainly was, Jake. It finished Blackburn Rovers 1, Coventry City 4. What a win for the Championship side. Misford in the first half, Ward from the spot, a terrific solo effort from Andy Bowler, and Misford with a second, the goal scorers. And make no mistake, Coventry could have scored more. Blackburn were flat. David Bentley's long-range effort, their only real moment to cheer. It's finished Blackburn Rovers 1, Coventry City 4.
They're still playing at Brighton. There's still an upset on the cards. Brighton-Mansfield. Here's Andy Barwell.
Still 2-1 to Mansfield. Dying seconds of stoppage time here. Mansfield just about holding on. Desperate stuff from Brighton. Brighton 1, Mansfield 2.
Is there still a non-league side in the FA Cup? Let's find out. They're still playing at Swansea. It's Swansea versus Havant and Waterlooville. Here's Gareth Williams.
Oh, it's exciting stuff, and it remains Swansea 1, Havant and Waterlooville 1. Swansea, though, applying the pressure, but we've got seconds left. It's 1-1.
What an afternoon around the country, and what an afternoon at White Hart Lane. When Tottenham play Reading, there's always goals, and here's Tony Lockwood to talk you through this afternoon's.
Who said Reading don't care about the FA Cup? They could have won this. Instead, they must replay a Paul Robinson blundered, gifted them the leads. Dimitar Berbatov crashed home an equaliser. Berbatov put them in front from the penalty spot, only for Hunt to equalise. Huddleston sent off for the host late on. Some FA Cup tie, 2-2.
It's all over at the Gal Farm Stadium, and celebrations for Huddersfield. Mark Webber.
Huddersfield 2, Birmingham 1. This League One side have rocked the football pyramid like tenor beastmen trampolining in Cairo. They played like heroes all game, scored first by Luke Beckett, and a fairly carbon copy goal by Chris Brandon regained the lead after a moment of madness allowed Gary O'Connor to equalise. Birmingham weren't good enough. Alex McLeish's face showed that for most of the game. But one thing's for sure, Jake, if you're hungry in Huddersfield tonight, book the restaurant now, because Brandon and Beckett will be dining out on those goals all year. Huddersfield 2, Birmingham 1.
I'm not in Huddersfield tonight, but I wish I was. Stamford Bridge, Chelsea playing QPR, the full-time whistle's blown. Dan Walker.
Yes, the battle of the billionaires ends in a victory for the Premier League side and holders of the competition. Claudio Pizarro will try and claim the decisive goal, but his first half strike hit a post and goalkeeper Lee Camp before dribbling over the line. QPR had their chances, they'll regret them in the second half, but they never really did enough to stretch Chelsea, who saw the game out after bringing on Drogba, Ballack and Joe Cole in the second half. The future's bright with a big bank balance, but it's Chelsea in the next round.
There is a non-league side in the fourth round of the FA Cup. Congratulations from everyone at final score to Havant and Waterlooville, who managed to get a draw away at Swansea. Let's get the details.
Swansea won, Havant and Waterlooville won. This game will be remembered for 3 second-half moments. The first came on 73 minutes. Swansea won a free kick 30 yards out. Up stepped Andy Robertson, who killed the ball into the top left-hand corner. Then we had the sending-off on 78 minutes when Brett Port was shown a straight red card for a thumping challenge on Swansea's number, Andrea Orlandi. And then, of course, the equaliser coming on 86 minutes. It's going to a replay, 1-1.
Great day for Havant and Waterlooville. What about Mansfield from League Two? How did they fare against Brighton at the Withdean Stadium? Let's get the latest. Andy Barwell.
Well, it's congratulations to Billy Dearden's side. Through to the fourth round of Mansfield. It may be a miserable league campaign, but it's all smiles today. The match settled by a goal from Ian Holmes, a rarity for cash-strapped Mansfield. They bought him in the summer from non-league Matlock. A hero today, a day best forgotten by Brighton. 2-1 Mansfield.
The last time Bristol City put out a Premier League side, it was Liverpool 13 years ago. They took the lead this afternoon. Ashton Gate for us was Hamish Marshall.
Well, they're not in round 4 this year, though, because it finished Bristol City 1, Middlesbrough 2. Middlesbrough needed replays in every round to reach the quarter-finals last season, including a penalties win over City, but not today, despite, as you say, going behind to Liam Fontaine's close-range effort. Stuart Downing levelled thanks to a goalkeeping error, and David Wheater sealed the passage to round 4. It wasn't easy, but an injury-hit Borough side did enough.
Let's hear about another Premier League casualty. Bolton hosted Sheffield United at the Reebok and didn't get the result they wanted. Here's Harry Gratian.
You know, Jake, this was a really low-key Bolton display reflected by thousands of empty seats. Sheffield United deserved to win. Quinn's great pass, setting up Carney for the only goal, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, neatly taken just before half-time. No real pressure from Bolton, no real desire, no real interest. Well, it certainly looked like that at times. Excellent, though, for Brian Robson. He certainly needs it at the moment. Good result for Sheffield United.
It was an all-Premier League affair at Upton Park where West Ham hosted Manchester City. Roger Johnson was watching for us.
And it was a stalemate. West Ham 0, Manchester City 0. Briefly this game threatened to get going, but it lost its way. Both keepers made a handful of good saves, but the defences were on top. And these two will now face a City of Manchester Stadium double-header in Cup and League in a couple of weeks' time. I hope they're better games than this. It finished 0-0.
Roy Keane won 4 FA Cups as a player, but he won't be doing it as a manager this season. Let's head to the Stadium of Light and get the details on Sunderland versus Wigan from Steve Sutton.
Let's finish Sunderland 0, Wigan 3, and a poor match. Not a good advert for the FA Cup. Wigan took the lead through a Sharma header on 18, and Paul McShane put through his own goal just after the restart of the second half. David Cottle with a good individual 20-yard effort, the only illuminating part of this game. Not a good advert, as I say, for the FA Cup. It's ended Sunderland 0, Wigan 3.
At the start of the day, 46 places separated Norwich City and Bury. You wouldn't have known it by the end result. At Carrow Road for us, Steve May.
Well, it finished Norwich 1, Bury 1. Bury ahead through Andy Bishop's header with less than 20 minutes left. But then Gary Doherty equalised with his first of the season. Huckabee, though, could have won it for Norwich 2 minutes from the end, but was denied by the excellent Jim Provitt in the Bury goal. And Hurst could have won it for Bury a minute later. A one-on-one, just couldn't get in the crucial shot. Replay Tuesday week, Norwich 1, Bury 1.
Ipswich won the FA Cup in 1978. They won't be doing it 30 years later. With the details on Ipswich's defeat to Portsmouth, here's Andrew James.
Ipswich 0, Portsmouth 1, and in today's match programme, Mark Halsey reveals he's brought a restaurant in readiness for life after refereeing. But on this display, his new career can't come soon enough. His first half dismissal of Ipswich teenager Liam Trotter was a dreadful mistake, which ended the game as a potential upset. Portsmouth substitute David Nugent coolly grabbed the only goal of the game early in the second half, and despite some near misses at both ends, it's Premier League Portsmouth who moves safely into round 4. Mark Halsey may well find himself with a day off that weekend.
It was League 2 Barnet up against League 1 Swindon at the county ground. Steve Lee was there.
Finish Swindon 1, Barnet 1. League 2 Barnet go back to London for another crack at League 1 Swindon. Blair Sturrock scrambled Swindon's opener midway through the second half. It sort of summed up the game, but a brave Barnet fight back saw sub Adam Birchall and a replay with a cracking 25-yarder. 1-1 it finished.
Hereford having the season of their lives in League 2. How did they fare against League 1 Tranmere at Prenton Park? Here's Alan Biggs.
They've got a deserved replay. It finished 2 apiece with Tranmere. All the goals in a thrilling second half, 3 of them in 4 minutes, including 2 equalisers from Tranmere after first Ben Smith and then Trevor Benjamin had shot Hereford ahead. Both excellent strikes, in Benjamin's case, almost as big a throwback as Ronnie Radford and Ricky George. But Tranmere recovered both times through Steve Jennings, who was on loan with Hereford last season, and Gareth Taylor. It's finished Tranmere 2, Hereford 2.
I've never known a third-round day with so many goals, and there were a fair few at Roots Hall where Southend entertained Dagenham and Redbridge. Here's Robin Bailey.
A wonderful end-to-end cup tie and a result cruel on Dagenham and Redbridge, who led 2-1 with 27 minutes left. John Nurse and Ben Strevens, the excellent strikers, turning it round. Only for goals from Dean Morgan and Simon Francis to get the Daggers chasing the match. Their goalkeeper, Tony Roberts, unfairly, I think, sent off when he went up for a corner, and he was balked. The U's saw off the 10 men, though, with further strikes by Bailey and Morgan. An Essex classic here.
It's League 1 versus Premier League at Goodison Park. Let's see if there's still an upset on the cards and find out how long's left. Here's Mark Bishop.
18 minutes left, Jake, and it's still Everton 0, Oldham Athletic 1. I swear I saw John Sheridan smiling just a couple of minutes ago because Oldham are hanging on after that wonder goal from Gary McDonald just before the break. Remember, in 1990, Everton were beaten by Oldham at Boundary Park in the 5th round replay of the FA Cup, and Ichabi and Yakuba have come off the bench to add more firepower to Everton, but Oldham are holding on. Everton 0, Oldham 1.
Stay with us for any developments at Goodison Park, but with the crowds making their way home, some teams licking their wounds and others celebrating. It's over to Tim Gudgeon for the classified football results.
First, the FA Cup, sponsored by Ian. Aston Villa and Manchester United kicking off any minute now. Barnsley 2, Blackpool 1. Blackburn Rovers 1, Coventry City 4. Bolton Wanderers 0, Sheffield United 1. Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Mansfield Town 2. Bristol City 1, Middlesbrough 2. Charlton Athletic 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. Chase Town 1, Cardiff City 3. Chelsea 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Colchester United 1, Peterborough United 3. Everton 0, Oldham Athletic 1, that's the latest score. Huddersfield Town 2, Birmingham City 1. And continuing the FA Cup results, Ipswich Town 0, Portsmouth 1, Norwich City 1, Bury 1, Plymouth Argyle 3, Hull City 2, Preston North End 1, Scunthorpe United 0, Southampton 2, Leicester City 0, Southend United 5, Dagenham and Redbridge 2, Sunderland 0, Wigan Athletic 3, Swansea City 1, Havant Waterlooville 1, Swindon Town 1, Barnet 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2, Reading 2, Tranmere Rovers 2, Hereford United 2, Walsall 0, Millwall 0. And continuing the third round results, Watford 2, Crystal Palace 0, West Ham United 0, Manchester City 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Cambridge United 1. In the Coca-Cola League 1, Carlisle United 3, Port Vale 2, Leeds United 3, Northampton Town 0. In League 2, Accrington Stanley 3, Chester City 3, Chesterfield 1, Grimsby Town 2, Macclesfield Town 1, Morecambe 2, Notts County 1, Stockport County 2, Rochdale 0, Lincoln City 2, Rotherham United 0, Milton Keynes Dons 1, Shrewsbury Town 0, Brentford 1. The Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Falkirk 0, Aberdeen 0, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 1, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 3, Gretna 0, Rangers 2, Dundee United 0. St Mirren 2, Hibernian 1.
And in the late kickoff, it's currently Everton 0, Oldham Athletic 1. And let's head live to Goodison Park right now and get the very latest details on the game from Mark Bishop.
Still Everton 0, Oldham 1, just 15 minutes left on the clock, and still Oldham lead through that goal from Gary McDonald. Yakubu has just missed a sitter from 3 yards out. It's Everton 0, Oldham 1.
Well, gentlemen, I've never known a third-round day quite like this. It started, even in the early kickoffs, with Chasetown taking the lead, and that was kind of setting the pattern for the afternoon, Garth.
Unpredictable, exciting, pretty much a typical
You're lost for words, aren't you?
round, really. Well, never quite lost for words, but there have been some quite controversial incidents, and I think on Match of the Day you'll have some quite interesting debate clearing those up. I mean, for me, the Liam Trotter sending off by Mark Halsey, I thought was very, very, very harsh. Should never have happened. Jim Magilton, the Ipswich manager, was furious, and I think quite rightly so. We play football, it's a contact sport, and if you're going to stop players from putting their foot in, I think the game's going to see a sorry day. We understand when both feet leave the ground, we understand that. That wasn't the case here. The kid made a genuine challenge, mistimed it, albeit a yellow card was more than enough. It wasn't, he went.
It's a great performance from Coventry. I think that's superb, considering the plight they're in the league, and, of course, financially as well. That's a terrific performance. Havant and Waterlooville, I think that's a fairy tale for them. That's a good performance. And, of course, Huddersfield. I tell you what, I was keeping an eye on that game. And that's look, the pitch was cut up. It was, you know, it was a little bit boggy, and it was proper third-round day with the underdogs triumphing.
Frank Sinclair was outstanding that day, wasn't he?
He was, superb.
Let's not forget Peterborough as well. Darren Ferguson there, that's Alex's son. Winning the Colchester in the Championship and winning comfortably, outplaying a team that's above them. So it's been a great day. I think, you know, the Minnows have risen to the challenge again.
And we've lost 3 Premier League teams already. We could lose 4 by the end of the day. I suppose it shows you how much the small teams are up for this cup, doesn't it?
Well, it does. I mean, I think it's harder than ever, it seems, for the small teams to beat the Premier League teams. And that's what I was hearing coming into today. But I think that's reversed it with what we've seen today.
Spurs 2-2 against a team that desperately doesn't want to be in the competition. They've got the worst result of all. They've now got a replay in a competition they don't want to be in. Controversy in that game because Huddleston got sent off. Not quite sure why. It seemed to be an altercation with him and Convey, the Reading player, and a suggestion that maybe there was a clash of heads. Now, he went. We'll have to clear it up on Match of the Day tonight to see whether it's justified.
OK, well, a fantastic afternoon. Congratulations to all the teams that have done well, particularly Coventry. 4-1 against Blackburn, quite remarkable. Now, there's a live all-Premiership tie just around the corner here on BBC One. But feel free to join us via your red button for more reaction to the day's games. We'll hear from players and managers. We'll take a look at the league tables, and it's a chance to see some of the day's goals as well. We continue on BBC Interactive until 6 p.m. this evening. But if it's live FA Cup football you're in the mood for, then stay right here. Meeting for the second successive season at the third round stage. 2 sides who share 18 FA Cup trophies between them. Aston Villa and last year's beaten finalists Manchester United. It promises to be a fantastic live FA Cup game on BBC One under the floodlights of Villa Park. It's Gary Lineker and it's Match of the Day